Assalamu alaikum, fam. Hope you're doing well. Alright, so settling down does not mean you have a wasted life or that you're not fulfilling your true potential. Settling down is let's put it this way, it's putting your sexy clothes in the trash. Okay? Your agenda is no longer to wear mini skirts, high heels, and a crop top, and to prance around luring men for random intercourse. When you settle down, you shift your priorities to something more divine, something more spiritual, something more fulfilling, something more lasting. And when you settle down, you recognize that it is no longer your aim to chase the male gaze, to appease the male gaze, and to let lust override your mind. So when you decide, when the time is right to settle down, you have to recognize that there will be times when you see girls, especially strippers who flash their money on TikTok, say, "We living our best life," and they're tossing around, 20s here and there. And they have a nice car with very good leather in there. They have designer this, designer that, $400 glasses. You can start to feel covetousness. You start to feel envious because you look around at your humble things and you start to have resentment. And this resentment can plague you in terms of your man. He's working hard. He could be a delivery truck driver, construction worker, plumber, electrician. He's doing what he can. But these feminists and a lot of these secular atheists, these progressive women, these modern women who really lead a lot of women to a lonely path, they are flashy. And this flashiness makes you feel like you have to go chase that kind of illusory glitter shadow. And this can make you feel like having a homestead, being a mother, is something to be shamed on. It means that you're not really a full woman. You're not balling out of control. You're not dropping them 20s. You're not smoking a blunt. You're not, smoking a cigar. You're not drinking mimosas, so you must be a failure. But I would tell you that that is not ideal. That's not ideal. And you need not follow them down their path, because time and gravity, by the permission of Allah, will put them in their place eventually. And you having a fertile, healthy womb to grow beautiful babies, and having a calm, peaceful, decently clean house will help your children feel safe and will make them feel like their home is their own. This is more valuable than you pawning your kid off to a sitter so you can go get drunk in the city. A lot of sisters I've seen now are saying it's hard to be like the mother of believers. They don't want to study. They find it boring. They feel like that's just not who they are. And this comes from clever marketing campaigns that are constantly bombarding women with, "You have to chase this. Come get it, come and get it, come and get it. Just do it, just do it." There's a lot of commercials, a lot of jingles, as, very perverted, like, "Just taste the rainbow," like Skittles commercials. There's a lot of weird tunes and commercials that really get in the subconscious of a person and start to erode their values. And then the billboard styles, the products that are sold, so many things that really warp what your purpose is, so you feel more lost and confused, and you feel less than. And because of the materialism and the decadence that America has experienced, and that the human consciousness leans to, more mellow, content women are lured away from their children, from guarding their children, and from wanting their men and wanting to get a good man to jump from bed to bed, hook up with people in bathrooms, hook up in a car with some person, use this app to meet a stranger, and risk getting an STD. Like, this lifestyle is heavily promoted by feminism and secular liberal atheists, and they enjoy when they see a religious person fail. They love making news stories about a conservative was caught doing this, so that they can then justify why they allow such degeneracy to happen. The whole, oh, well, don't judge them for doing that behavior, and you should just worry about your home. There's a balance to that type of philosophy and moral grandstanding. But if you see this kind of really open public displays of hedonism, you have to say, hey, this isn't right. And this is hard to get some to understand because they see that as something fun and exciting. So when you try to tell these women you need to settle down, you need to be a proper mother, okay? It's time to let go of the jewels and things like that. They get angry at you. They hate you. They think you're picking on them. You're bullying them. They expect mountains of gold and jewels in a way. They think they're going to be beautiful forever, and then men are always going to submit to their will. But the truth is, from what I have seen, is that you have to really get your man bonded to you and be content with less than, because if you look at the prophets, peace be upon them, like Job's wife, you have to know that they struggled without so that they could have the spiritual satisfaction and also the approval of God. So we shouldn't, as religious women, let non-religious people degrade our morality to the point where we think settling down is boring. And that women who don't chase that money, that they have failed at something. Being a mother, having energy for intimacy, having energy for cleaning, liking to be home and out of the business of the neighbors, or, out walking about trying to get people's attention, focusing on educating yourself at home, having a community of people who care about you and you care about them, having time to call your family members to check up on them. How are they doing? This is very valuable when you settle down. But if you want to be wild, well, this makes something much more difficult. Because you have to practice cooking more. You have to practice just learning the art of making different sauces, making different salad dressings, making, even different drinks. For example, they have this drink that's really popular in Mexican culture. It's called horchata, and it's a rice milk drink. And that takes time to make from home from scratch. You soak the rice, you put the sugar, you put the cinnamon, you let it soak overnight, you blend it, you strain it, and it's a really, really good drink, but it takes time to make. Now, you could just go to the store and buy the crappy powder, but that's not healthy, right? And even some of the restaurants, they just use the powder or the pre-mixed stuff and then add water. It's super unhealthy. But you making something as simple as that at home has way more flavor and is way more delicious. And this is something that... my vehicles, thank you. This is something that is really beneficial because you can help people to practice their cooking skills. And feminists see the kitchen as a plantation. They see the kitchen as a punishment, when better women see the kitchen as this is your domain. You can make countless food. Homemade pasta, ravioli, gnocchi, fettuccine. You can do linguine. You can make homemade pasta sauces, bolognese, marinara, arrabbiata. You can make tamales, okay, with blue corn maize, yellow corn maize. There's so many wonderful things you can make. And that in of itself shows you did a labor of love and that you care, and you should be proud of that. Making good quality food that tastes good for your family is very rewarding. And homesteading, being at home, these are things that help. These are things that are highly beneficial. And comparing getting an A on a test, I love doing that, but it's not the same. It's a different type of accomplishment. It's a different kind of feeling. And this is why you have to recognize the college life is fun, but it's not Hogwarts. See, it was sold to a lot of kids that, college is going to be like Hogwarts. This is your home. You live in the dorms. This is who you are. This is like a coming to be for women. Not exactly. Then you kind of become like Anna Kasparian as someone who says a dog is the same as a human being. And then with their feminist art, you start to see how low they think of babies and how low they think of pregnancy. And you begin to see that they claim to be the champions of women, yet they degrade everything of traditional femininity. So settling down doesn't mean you wasted your life, and cooking good food in the kitchen for guests, for Eid, for, a baby shower, a wedding, you being a person who knows how to handle themselves in the kitchen, it can save you a lot of money than trying to pay for a private caterer. And will also save you from a lot of embarrassment, because people who can't cook, you're going to feel ashamed when people eat your food and it's just like, this ain't even good. It tastes horrible. And when you can make cute little cookies, you can make adorable cupcakes, flavorful pies, donuts, croissants, cheese danishes, apple strudels, pretzels. You can do all kinds of stuff, calzones, focaccia breads. I mean, you name it. The things are endless what you can do with a bag of flour and a few ingredients. Okay? And this in of itself is a very good way to get a sense of purpose, a sense of accomplishment. You're not going to get an applause every time you do it, but the memories you build with your children are very beneficial and will outlast the memories you got in the classroom or the nods you got from your classmates. And if you are working full-time and going to school full-time, you're not going to have as much energy to do the cooking side. And you may not taste the sweetness of being an authentic mother who cooks for her children. And having your kids eat frozen food, fast food, pre-made food from grocery stores, a bowl of cereal, top ramen, these are things that are not healthy for your child. And your child gets sick more often. Being able to buy raw organic milk from grass-fed cows is a blessing. That's more valuable than your iPhone. That's more valuable than, your beautiful sneakers. Okay? Quality ingredients for your children are what really matters, and settling down means you will have time to source ingredients, to prepare healthy meals, and that your partner is going to be the one to finance your culinary menu. And you will also have a lot of fun. Different spices, different herbs, growing herbs, different teas, different vinegars, different oils, walnut oil, peanut oil, extra virgin olive oil, imported from Italy. There's so many wonderful avocado oil, coconut oil, duck fat, beef fat, all these different things that you can learn to cook with, and cooking all different types of meats, different types of cuts, and knowing how to prepare it. These are very powerful skills. So if any feminist Muslim or any other feminist in general degrade the kitchen, understand that these are people who can't cook and they feel superior because their name is on a piece of paper from a university, and that you shouldn't feel like settling down is wasted because you make good food for your family when the feminist eats out every night, or she eats out every other night, or has food delivered and depends upon others to prepare her food. This is a more of a laziness and smugness and eliteness, and you can get through time, more satisfaction from cooking homemade food than you will from eating out at every restaurant. And as someone who's worked in a lot of restaurants, it's pretty gross, a lot of them, even the most fancy. You know, you'd be surprised how many times you think people are getting food poisoning. I mean, you really got to be careful out there. And a lot of menus, there's not laws that say someone can't lie, that say, this is organic. No one's going in and checking. You know, a lot of restaurants lie and they do use old food. And I'm not going to just reveal all the secrets of restaurants, but be very careful. Just be very, very careful. And some workers, if you're rude, they will do things to your food. If you don't tip them well and they know you're a cheap tipper, they'll do things to your food. So that's why it's safer for you to cook at home. So don't let these progressive, modern, feminist women, Muslim and non-Muslim, make you feel inferior for liking to be in the kitchen. Because it is a very good skill, very valuable skill, and is very noble. And every person who knows how to cook in the kitchen should be respected. And if someone can't make an over easy egg or a poached soft egg, but they have a degree in something, just kind of notice that they don't have some real world skills. Real world skills. And that rustic women, country women who are in the rural areas, they may not have the most fanciest of things, but they do have a pure heart. And feminists today, both of the California model and others, really don't see value in that type of lifestyle. So you have to be wary of letting them guide you towards your path in life, because they have contrarian values that won't necessarily fulfill you and make you feel happy. So don't think settling down means your life is over. No, your life is beginning, and your purpose is going to be solidified, and your kids will, inshallah, help you to feel like you are something, because your kids will always love you more than your co-workers. They'll always love you more than your teacher, okay? And if you're not at home, you'll be missed, but if you're not in class, nobody cares. So don't let some of these feminist liberals chase you off from being proud to be home and being a homemaker. And don't make them trick you into thinking you can be educated through the thousands of books available for free. There's even thrift stores for books for $1. Okay? There's tons of free books. There's just so much knowledge everywhere, more than I think there's ever been in world history. So going in debt to a bank is not the only way to become educated. Okay? Remember, it's just a piece of paper. Okay? And that credit card bill, that loan bill coming every month for the majority of 20 years, it's going to be a lot of stress. And remember, debt is slavery. Save that money, buy land, buy a farm. And then knowledge arrives much more easier, because you're able to maneuver and navigate life without the debt. So think about what I said, and don't fetishize college. Don't worship it. Don't think it like it's a holy place that you go into and you come out with automatic wisdom. Don't think that every school is the same and that every degree is the same, and don't think that you're guaranteed a job and that you're going to be able to pay that debt off in 2 years. Just remember, that is a heavy load of debt upon your head, and you cannot declare bankruptcy on it, at least in America. So be mindful of that. Be mindful of that. So be proud to settle down and to be traditional and to be unique in your own path, and don't let them make you feel like you're not fulfilling your life, because children are a huge part of life and help you have purpose. So think about what I said, and hopefully you will agree with some of the points that I made. Have a good day.